I'm Kayla Hamilton, here to get you in the mix with the Coyote Blitz. I'm Kayla Hamilton, here with Sharon Irwin and Majid Key. Coach's philosophy is to keep you two on an island and have everyone else do their jobs. How did that feel going into the first game?
It felt great, honestly. Being on the island is our job. You know what I mean? That's why they brought us here, and that's what we came to do. So it's comfortable to me.
What about you?
It felt pretty good. Hope it's like that the whole season, because we are shut down DBs.
After last week's game, how do you guys keep the competitive mindset going into next week?
Just remembering what we're here for and what we do it for. We got a great set of receivers on the team, so practice is just like a game to us. Going against Chad and these guys, CC and all these guys every day, it's just like a game.
Like Sharon said, we have some great receivers that push us each week, so there's no days off pretty much.
How comfortable do you guys feel going into this game against the California Raiders?
I feel pretty comfortable. I know we've been practicing hard, you know what I mean? So we going into every game ready, and we're going to treat this game like every other game. Every game is a big game, you know what I mean? We don't take no weeks off, no days off, so we're going to get it by any means.
Feel pretty good coming in this. Really love the competition. Hope it's great competition, and we're gonna do our job.
Now I'm joined by slot receiver Jared Harrington. Jared, what does it mean to be a Coyote?
For me to be a Coyote, it just our three pillars: faith, family, and football. It may sound cliche, but it's the truth. You gotta have faith in the Lord. That's why we all here. Family, we're all a family, and some of us left families back home. We're here while we playing, and we all had to combine and be one family in football. That's the third reason why we're here, to get better and get to the next level.
At your position, how is it going from college to being a Coyote?
Well, in college, we ran a lot of spread offense. I was always I was a motion man all the time. Defenses would always key me, so I would always go in motion, trying to get me ball out in the flats, or, we run concept routes here. I'm reading everything because we run the run and shoot. So, every time I run a route, I'm reading the safety, I'm reading the coverage, what the safety's doing, what the backer's doing. And, I like it a lot more because, it gives you a little more free reign, makes you feel like a little more of a pro. You're not set to one thing every time, and no matter what the defense does, they're wrong.
What lessons have you heard from Jacob Russell about humility?
I've heard a lot of, humility stuff from Jake, especially when we go to the church services. Being, coming from a Christian school, we learn a lot about servant leadership and being humble, and he's taught me a lot. What
kind of role of leadership has Jacob transitioned to coming in from college?
Well, in college, him and I were captains along with two other of our teammates. But Jake really didn't. He really wasn't the vocal type. Jake was just the leader of the offense. He got us in, got us what we need to do, and won us the game. But here, he's had to evolve big time because, it's a different level of football, and he's in charge of everything. And when we were in college, he didn't have to do all that. But here, he has to do it because it's all on him now. And if we mess up, it all starts with him. And that's the biggest thing, for him, and it's kind of ironic because he's a real quiet person, and to see him come out here and practice every day and talk more than anybody else on the field, it's pretty funny.
And that's it for your Coyote Blitz.